Hey everyone, I'm Danny, and welcome to Muggle Magic. When I hit 20,000 subscribers, I gave away a mystery box, which contained 2 exclusive items, amongst other things, but 2 exclusive items that I had not revealed or showed a DIY for at all on my channel. So now, since the box has been received and opened and I don't have to worry about spoiling the surprise for the winner, I can reveal these DIYs. So the first one we're gonna do today is a deck of exploding snap cards. And I've designed this deck from scratch. So basically I didn't have any reference images or anything like that like I normally would do for a replica. This is basically my idea for what exploding snap cards would look like. I decided to make them look kind of like divination type cards with the eye on them, because this is such a fast-paced game and you've got to be able to, hit the cards faster than the other person. So you almost need to look into the future to see what card is coming next. So I thought divination theme really fit well with that. I also gave them sort of like a singed look, as if they had been used before and have exploded before or caught fire. This is a complete deck of 52 cards plus 4 explosion cards, and I will show you how this is put together first. We'll go over the tutorial, and then after that's done, I'll tell you what the rules are. And it's basically the same rules if you've ever played Snap, but there's a twist to it which you use the explosion cards for, and we'll go over that after the DIY's over. Also, I'm giving away another mystery box at 30,000 subscribers, and it's going to contain 7 mystery items, just like my 20K box, and 2 of them are going to be exclusive projects that I have not shown to anyone and I have not posted DIYs for yet. And again, I won't reveal those until the box is won and opened. If you're interested in entering that giveaway, the link is in the description box below. Also check out the description box for a list of supplies you're gonna need to do this DIY, as well as the free downloadable templates, and let's get started. After you've downloaded and printed the templates, so you should have like a stack of sheets of cards and then the card box here. And this should be a single-sided one, but all the cards themselves should be printed double-sided. I printed all of this stuff on cardstock. I did print it on a lighter cardstock, but if you want it to have a thicker feel, then you probably want to print it on, obviously, a thicker cardstock. This is 67-pound cardstock, but I would probably recommend 100-pound cardstock or higher if you want it to be thicker. Now, on top of this, I've also included this sort of cut guide sheet. Let's set aside the card box for now, because we'll cut that out later. And there are a couple ways you can go about cutting these out. One, you could use a ruler and X-Acto knife. I don't recommend that method though. I tried it and it kind of worked, but in the end, the cards just didn't look that good. They weren't really evenly cut. It just didn't turn out great. The other option would be to use an actual paper cutter, which is what I'm gonna be doing today. So here I have my X-Acto paper cutter, and I'm just going to sort of measure where I need these cuts to be. And then I'm gonna cut the pages in batches probably. Because this thing can only cut through about 10 pages at once. So I'm gonna use my cut guide to see where my first cut should go. So I'll lift up my blade. I'm just going to line up this line with where the paper cutter will cut. And then I'm gonna take this piece, which basically will lock in right here, just like this. Okay, there, now it's locked in. So now I know exactly where I need my paper to go when I cut. So this can only do about 10 sheets, so I'm probably just gonna do like, there are 10 sheets here, but this is cardstock, and the more thick the cardstock, the less I should probably put through here. So I'll probably just do half the stack to start off with. I will place it right here. Remember, I've already set up my cut guide, so I know that this is in the right spot. There we go. So I'll do that with the second stack, and as I was doing that first stack, it felt kinda like it might come apart or it might move, so I'm going to use a paper clamp to clamp these together right here on the corner. Need to hold them steady and make another cut. And now we just need to cut our cut guide as well. There we go. That way we know that if we flip the cards over, we'll know where to cut. Might as well go ahead and do the cut guide right now. Okay, we've set the cut guide up again on one of these shorter edges. So by now you should basically get the idea. We're just going to continue to measure things out according to our cut guide and then actually cut the cards out. For this cut down the center, I'm going to put a paper clamp right here on this corner, and I'm also going to put one on this back corner. And that's just going to help me hold the cards together when I do this. So I have cut out all of these cards. I did trim them down a bit, basically, and also keep in mind that you're not gonna get perfectly straight, like perfectly aligned cards unless you're using like a machine cutter or something. There's no way you can do perfectly lined up every single card, like a perfect deck of cards, if you're doing it just by hand. I would be surprised if it's even possible. But next, you're gonna wanna just kind of flip through all of these cards and make sure that you don't see any white trimmings around the edges. If you do see a tiny bit of white around the edge, you can just take a ruler and X-Acto knife and just trim off that little sliver of white. And I've already done that with mine. And once you're finished with that, you're gonna wanna take every card and use a corner rounder just to clip off the corners so that they have all rounded corners. And unfortunately, there is no fast way to do this. You basically just need to go and do every single corner of each card. And so once you're done rounding the corners, it should look like a nice card. And just go ahead and do that with every card in the deck. Now, I've just finished rounding all the cards, and the deck is looking a lot better now, I think. But I never want to look at that corner rounder again. So we can set our deck of cards aside, and the next thing we need to do is cut out the box and assemble it. I like to do the straight edges with my ruler and X-Acto knife, and then just do all the like curved and strange edges and things like that with scissors. Okay, so I've gotten this far with my X-Acto knife and ruler, and I'm just gonna finish cutting this out with scissors. Okay, now that this is fully cut out, we can start folding it and gluing it together. And this is basically the same thing we did with the Weasley's Haunted deck. So I'm just going to go ahead and start making these folds. You wanna fold this little flap on the side, and you wanna fold it both ways. So you're gonna fold it in, then you're gonna flip it over and fold it outward as well. And you want to do that with each one of these folds so that you have a good fold. So there's that one. Next, we'll want to fold in this bottom flap. And this is where it has the copyright and the link to my YouTube channel. And then you can just fold the whole thing over, and then we can take it and fold it over again so that now we have where it says exploding snap, we have that facing us, and that is going to be the edge of the box. And then finally, this other place where it also says exploding snap, we can fold that in. And now fold this top flap in where it has the image of the eye. And now these four little flaps here, those also need to get folded. Okay, so now we are right here. And basically what we're gonna glue is this side where it says exploding snap. And then there's this blank tab here. We're gonna put glue on this blank tab and then just glue this box together. So it should look like this when you have it glued together. And for this, I'm just gonna use a glue stick. One good way to tell that the box is the right shape and size is if you can flatten it out like this. After you've glued it, you should be able to just take it and flatten it. And now we need to close this bottom part. And I found it's easier if you put the cards inside the box, and then you should be able to fold this over. And then you should be able to tell like where to fold the tab down on this side. because it's gonna have to tuck inside the box. So I think I found the right spot for that. So now you can take this and tuck it in the box just like this. So it should look like that. Okay, so now I've taken the cards out, and where I've folded this tab down, I'm gonna put glue on there. I'm also gonna put glue on these two smaller corner tabs here. And then I'm going to glue this box closed. So once they're glued, I can fold these two little tabs in first, and then I'm just going to tuck this tab in that has glue on it. And then you might be able to get your hand in there to make sure that it gets glued in. And if you can't get your hand in there, you can just, you can use your scissors to push on it, make sure that it gets glued in. Now the cards should fit into the box, and then this tab, all you need to do is the same thing you did at the bottom, where you figured out where to fold that tab in. All right, so now these two tabs can fold down, and then this top part can tuck in. And there we have the box of exploding snap. You don't want to glue this top part. In fact, we're going to put a sticker to seal it closed. So we've got this sticker sheet. I've already cut a couple out as I was practicing, and also the one that I shipped off in the mystery box. So basically you just cut this out, and these are printed on sticker paper. And then, oh God, I have to use the corner rounder again. That wasn't so bad. And now you should be able to peel off the back of the sticker, and then we're just gonna place it right here to seal the card shut. All right, so this is the finished deck of Exploding Snap. Now, to play Exploding Snap, as you can see, there are a bunch of different symbols on here. There are actually 4 sets of each style of symbol. And then on top of these symbols, there are also these explosion cards. And so you'll start off just by shuffling the deck, and then you and another player will play together. I think this is probably best with 2 players, maybe 3. You could probably get away with 4, but more than that, it wouldn't work out too well because everybody gets an even set of cards. So I'm just gonna pretend I'm playing with 2 people, and I'm gonna deal the deck out into 2 piles. Player 1 has 1 pile, and player 2 has another pile. And then what happens is you'll start off by flipping 1 card over and placing it in the center of the table. And then the next person will flip a card over. And see, it's an explosion. That was not lucky. So I'm gonna set this aside, and I'll show you what to do with the explosion cards in just a minute. And you're just gonna keep doing this until you get a match. And once there's a match, then somebody smacks the cards and says, snap, or taps it with their wand if you're playing with wands. Now, whoever's first to do that gets to keep these cards, and then you just resume play as normal. The object of the game is to get the most cards, so whoever has the biggest pile in the end wins. Now, if somebody flips over an explosion card, basically this entire pile just explodes, and those cards are lost forever. However, after an explosion card is played, if somebody plays on top of it without pushing the cards aside, like if they are just trying to go too fast and don't realize it was an explosion card and they put a card down, then they lose their entire pile that they've built up this entire game. It would all go away, and then you would start again. Another thing you can do, let's say we're just starting a new game, the dealer can then take 1 card and set it aside, and whatever this card is, that becomes wild. So now there are 4 wild cards in here as well. So if you played and you just kept playing, and then somebody actually flipped over a card that matches the wild card, that would actually become whatever card is below it, and it automatically becomes a snap, basically. So yeah, after all the cards are gone, you just count up however many you have, and whoever has the most cards at the end wins. You can actually change the rules however you want, just to make it work for you. You could take the explosion cards out, or maybe have fewer in there, or you could even print some extras and have more explosion cards in there if you want. If you want a chance to win the deck of Exploding Snap that I made in this video today, there's a link to the weekly giveaway in the description box below. If this video can hit 500 likes or more, I will choose 2 winners, so I'll be giving away 2 decks of Exploding Snap. Again, I have the 30K giveaway going on, which I mentioned earlier in the video. I also have a 26K giveaway going on, which is for a Luna Lovegood themed merchandise. We have a Luna Pop figure, officially licensed Spectre specs, as well as my fully readable Quibbler replica. If you'd like to be included in exclusive giveaways, as well as access to extra downloads such as the Photoshop files that I create and the assets that I use to create my replicas, consider supporting Muggle Magic on Patreon. And now to announce the winner of my previous giveaway for Dumbledore's Will. And the winner is Shemaya Guillermo. Congratulations, and I've sent you an email with instructions on how you can claim your prize. Remember, I get a lot of ideas for these DIYs that I do from your comments. So if you have an idea for something that you want to see me do in the future, definitely leave a comment below and let me know. If you're interested in seeing more DIY videos having to do with Harry Potter and more, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.